What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of They Die at the End. Your host, Skip Morazzi, writer producer for Cox in Space, here with Ravum the Misspelled to play They Die at the End, a tabletop role playing game where voices in the main character's head try to take control of them, secure their objectives, using their special powers before they die suddenly and horrifically often. Um, Ravum is the one who proposed this, so I'm glad that you're here as a co-host with us today. Um, I do have
I'm glad to be here.
I do have a new rule that I think that you will be excited about. And I want to run specifically by you because you as like, a gamer who like figures out how rules can function and can break.
Okay.
What's up, Aaron Kozbial? The other person who I wanted to hear exactly what I'm about to say. Welcome to They Die at the End.
I'm I'm actually just here to let you know I'm not gonna be able I'm kind of on the road right now, so I
No,
won't be able to play.
are you able to listen really quick while you're here? Because this is
Yeah, yeah.
actually inspired by you. So I think
Oh,
that you would
cool.
be glad for the acknowledgement of the inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Cosbill, co-writer and producer for Cox in Space, and the professor of comedy. Um, so I hope that we'll catch up with you and what you're doing. But here's the thing. Your goal last week was one that you couldn't get in a single action. You were trying to get, what was it again?
An EGOT.
An EGOT, right?
Emmy,
The
Grammy,
Emmy,
Oscar, Tony.
Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, which is the best in film, stage performance, music, and to writing a film or a screenplay, I believe.
Honestly, you could get it for. I mean, there's so many different categories in Oscars, so any of the categories would really. I
Oh,
got
right,
it
yeah,
for
actor,
writing,
producer, yeah,
best
director,
screenplay.
yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and
Right. Exactly. That was what you were trying to get the Oscar for. So what I realized was that the way that I had been scoring those points was that you wouldn't actually be able to get what that goal was worth. Because ultimately, just straight up on paper, that goal is like an 18. It's going to be very difficult in the course of the game for you to get all those four things. Not impossible, but 18, right? So you should be getting a base 18 points, which I've never given people for, at least in this iteration of the game. In addition to when you finally achieve that goal, the last step, you should be getting the points for what the challenge is to finally top off that goal plus the difference in. Like when you were trying to get that hug based off of the fact that you got it during the fact that you wrote it the script and it got such a great role that it got you to, win the Oscar for the script and get that hug on stage, right? So you got
yeah,
8 points for that, and then that should be added to, I mean, to the what getting a hug normally is, which is only probably like a 2 or 3, because especially, most people can get a hug. Maybe
yeah.
maybe the group of us who hangs out, except for Aaron Cosbill, probably more like 5. Little nerd joke there. So, tabletop
Yeah,
humor for us.
yeah.
But so that's what I just when you put your goals in, you're not going to do it tonight, Aaron, obviously. But from here on, I'll give you like what's the goal, how hard that is to do by itself, and then when you finally achieve that goal, you get points on top of it. So the scoring will go up a little bit. Um, so we'll just have to recognize that. Are you going off to a show right now, Aaron?
No, coming back from and I'm just in Michigan, so
Oh wow,
uh,
that's
yeah, yeah,
gotcha.
no real great place to chill for a little bit. Um,
Yeah, yeah, you definitely don't want to be rolling in any other way besides how you already are on the road.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I thought I'd be back a little bit earlier.
Cool.
Um,
Well, you're welcome to tune in the podcast, obviously, as Rayum and I take some grand adventures. Is that all right?
all right, cool. Yeah, I'm
I-
gonna.
If you want to.
I
That's
just wanted to make sure that you guys that like I let you know that I wasn't uh, gonna be participating in the game.
that's awesome. Yeah, no, you're I do appreciate the heads up.
Cool. All right, but you guys have fun. I'm going to like watch the road and stuff.
That's yeah, definitely. I mean, continue to drive safe. Um, don't be a menace.
All right, I will
He would
endeavor
swear
to
at the
not.
first idea of menace, but you know.
There
Yeah.
is always the option that Raven takes uh to actually be a menace. I believe is what you said, right?
Yeah,
While you're on
absolutely.
the road. Um, that's if you're not being a menace, are you truly driving?
Right.
Exactly. See, now you're getting it.
Well, Dennis was a menace, and I don't think he had the driver's license at 9. Uh,
That's true. I'm sure that he would have become an even greater
oh
menace.
man, Dennis as a teenager.
Wow.
Well, we got it.
That
Next on
actually that
CW,
it,
Dennis the
it
Menace,
actually existed.
the
The kid is
teen
pretty
years.
upset about being a parody. Um, and his absentee father, I imagine. So Ravam, do you have your goals set?
Have fun.
Let me type them up real
Oh yeah,
fast.
you're good. Trying to disinclude. But
Hmm.
Kozbial, you're welcome back anytime.
Um, you should honestly just make a video of all the bloopers. Like, just save the scraps and tape them together at the end of the month and just throw them onto YouTube.
The scraps, what do you mean? You think I'm editing these that hard? Mainly, I'm just trying to take out the
No,
swear words so that they can be monetized. That's kind of the big goal. Is just if
ah,
we can do cheeky and funny humor and get away with a lot of things, I believe, in good taste. And then there's definitely some things like if we consider it more of like an on the air broadcast, then I think that we will be more likely to be aware of what kind of content we are bringing. Um, so that, if our grandma tuned in, RIP from the grave, or something like that, our bosses, they would be like, oh, I guess in your case, it really doesn't matter. You'd probably laugh about any of the things.
oh Lord, my objectives are going to be evil this time. Let's do this.
Do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, fun objectives, of course, make for interesting gameplay. Let me Cool. That's definitely still sharing there. Yeah, the first time you played, I remember you had, of course, objectives that were just, the things that you wanted to do if you could do it, anything you wanted to, which I thought was awesome. And then within that same game, and not to shame anyone publicly, but like their objectives were like, you know, clean the bathrooms. And I think three people had those objectives of like clean the bathrooms. So they're like treating it like a work
Yeah,
game or exercise, and they were trying to get the right answer from the guy that you work for.
man, it was a Christmas game. I'm out to have fun and get tipsy, not
You know what I'm saying? Like
play
that's why
work.
when he was like, "Hey, do you want to you want to play a game for the party?" I was like, "Hell yes, let's do this." Because it's about having fun and a good time and how you can do that in a group. Grandpa always said, "Do as much as you can to still get in heaven." No, to just barely get into heaven. Sorry, I think that's a quotation.
I don't think I'm going, so I'm okay.
Do everything you can to just barely get into heaven. Yeah, he liked to have fun and enjoy being alive, and then also, not be bad to people. I think that's really the essence of things. Is like I mean, if you look at like a Judeo-Christian God, right? Like his thing is like, recognize that you're all like manifestations of me, and when you're like a jerk to something else, in the universe, you're like a jerk to yourself and the rest of the universe, and it's like it'll come back at you. There's some of the Eastern religions will tell you. So it's just like, and you see that physically too, right? Um,
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah, Johnny Bravo's on the case. Nice.
and he's not a good guy
Okay.
in the slightest.
All right. So your first objective is gonna be like a 12,
Okay, let me
because they're
let me
definitely
open
gonna.
up
I
a.
mean, that's the sort of thing that they like check out, I believe. Um, your second one, uh, and profit off of it. Are you sure you want that as your objective and goal? Because I think you're gonna have a lot of organizations against you specifically.
Hey,
Um,
the harder the challenge, the better the reward.
Right, right. So okay, so I'm sure that you could create the organization profit. Okay, I'm gonna have to say that one's probably like 15 is what my gut's telling me on that one. Oh, hmm. Okay.
The last one's
We mean the
definitely
actor,
going
of
to
course,
be
right?
probably the hardest.
Specifically the actor.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
And you
specifically, yeah.
you have to create the misunderstanding, and then you have
Yeah,
to get him into a fight where you can beat him up. Okay, he's
yeah,
a celebrity and he has bodyguards. Um, Also he's getting older. I think he would be more than happy to talk things out as much as possible. He's also seemingly a nice guy, um, but not impossible. Um, I'm actually thinking it'd be more likely you're able to do that than to pass something off on the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I'm gonna say it's going to be 11 because it seems like a thing that Cage could do, but then like probably not. So yeah, that's my final scoring for you right there. We got 2 and 2. Do you have any Wigwags merchandise that you want to present to this time so that you can have it counted for extra
I
scores or
do
whatever?
not. I have to
Okay.
buy another Wigwag shirt.
Oh my God. Well, those are the facts. So, there's all
I
the
do. I do need
merchandise
to buy another
online.
Wigwag
Also,
shirt.
you can go to wigwags.us if you want any merchandise. I'm not speaking specifically to you, but people who want to know where they can find such things. So all right, your die keeps like it like appears and then it disappears. Like I'm just looking at a black screen right now,
Oh, my bad.
but it was a
Right, is that better?
yeah, it was a die before. Okay, cool. All right. So we're gonna do something a little bit differently. Also, I forgot that I had the ability to do this because sometimes I do things and then totally forget about them. Um, so give me a roll on the two tens, the pink one right in the middle. Oh, bam. Oh wow. Okay.
16.
There we go. 16. Um, all right. You ready for the setup?
I am. Let's do this.
All right. So you you went out looking for your son and you got kidnapped. Basically, just what do you call it? Abducted by aliens,
Mm.
and you've been placed in a tank with a bunch of other creatures like you, and you're just kind of swimming around. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm swimming. That's not good. I would like to. Is there any dry land that I can go up onto, or is it just aquatic?
Where you are is just aquatic. There is it looks like there might be some area that is dry outside of where you are. Um, do you want to try to make?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get to that dry land.
Okay, so Um, the container that you're in is designed to keep you in. You do have like some like the muscles to do it. You'd have to work together with other ones if you tried to like pull it off, I think is how it works out.
Hmm.
Or if you try to leap yourself, it's gonna be pretty difficult.
Hmm. I'm gonna try and communicate with one of the nearest aquatic organizations
You
or
mean
organism, rather.
organisms? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's I was like, dang, okay, now I've got to think about the organizations that like to be down here. Um,
Man, it's nice they abducted the entire ATF at once.
right,
It's gonna make this a lot easier.
right, exactly. Um, so you're gonna try to talk to the other creatures who are around you to like plan a sort of
Yeah.
escape. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So having that conversation and trying to convince them to help you escape or to escape with you, um, is a possibility. It's like as you begin to have the conversation, you realize they're kind of already thinking something along the lines themselves, since they've also been abducted. And so your challenge to probably to get them to specifically follow your plan versus what they want to do is about a six.
That's 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
on a 20.
God damn
Oh,
it.
wow. Okay, so we never rolled to see if he
It's,
even took control, but all right, that's okay. Um, so they didn't. They wanted to like one of these guys like he's got this big scar across his face, and he believes that he has the best plan how to get everybody out and not just you. Because what he says about your plan is that if you try to end up on the dry land, all of you will die.
mm, okay.
So
I'm
obviously
gonna.
you got kicked out of the head of the being who's in the water with them, and you'd have to do a reroll to get back in. Or I guess if you just want to take any initial action, because there's no one really to fight with you. Um, I don't think he noticed that you were controlling him, so because it wasn't that bad. Um, so there you are. What would you like to do?
Hmm. I can't really create a bum fight organization. We're all trapped underwater.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I could, but it'd be very difficult to profit off of it in this situation.
That does sound that does sound true.
Mm. Well, you're right. That is untrue. The aliens might be watching and might find it
Hmm.
interesting enough to provide me a reward. Uh, hmm. Oh, so many options. I would like to just attack the head guy with the scar. Just straight up punch him.
Okay,
Start a
so do
fight.
you want to attack him? Oh, you want to start a fight? Okay, you want to start a fight with the head guy. Okay,
Yeah,
and the goal is the goal to start the fight or is the goal to win the fight?
just start it. I don't
You,
necessarily have to win.
okay, so you just want to start a fight with that guy. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
given how he's just mocked you, you guys are still in close quarters. Yeah, starting a fight with him is like a three. That's it. So
okay.
you like start to talk trash, and he doesn't really like even take you seriously. Like he doesn't seem like it's gonna kick off at all. And then you say something very specific about his like type, and then he like turns on you quickly. Um, basically you said that he's no angel, right? And so that's what like starts off the whole thing. So you do engage him and in a fight. He's not really meaning to do anything, but like he attacks you to like knock you back just to like put you in your place. So if you call that a fight, then yeah, you got it.
Um, Now this is important. Do any of the creatures nearby have any sharp objects attached to them or around them?
The
This is important.
observation check that you have Given the situation is mostly diffused, is like a 2.
Let's hope this is
Yeah.
fine. I'm
Okay.
rolling so low.
Yeah, so the water got stirred up a little bit, so it was a little bit murky. But you begin to see that, no one's armed, of course, because it'd be very strange for anyone of your species to be armed.
Mm.
In fact, the idea like is new to the person you're riding around in.
Interesting. Okay. Hmm.
But they do start thinking about how they could arm themselves with something sharp.
Hmm. Hmm.
What do you want to do?
uh, are we all like just bare naked in this? Are we all just floating around with nothing on us? Or do we all have like our clothes and personal belongings?
I would include that in the observation check you just made. So none of your species wears clothes at all. None of your species use items at all.
We're not human, are we?
You're not human, no.
Damn, that just made fighting Nick Cage a whole lot harder.
I mean, you could try to do it, but
Oh, I'm definitely gonna. Humanity's first sighting and meeting of aliens, and one just rocks Nick Cage because he feels like it. Um, but damn, okay. I guess I'll ask him to explain his plan then if it's so good.
okay. Um, so after the bit of a fight, you're gonna try to talk with them. I think that he's going to be a little bit unwilling, but still most likely to help you. So you're looking at like a 7.
Watch me roll a one. Oh
Boom.
shit.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you start to talk with him, and he starts to realize that you just needed to know what your place was, and that you actually were on board. You were just new to the situation. Not everyone gets abducted every day, and so you have to just test the boundaries of social levels. But as he sees that you're smart and you're on board, he starts to explain that if you can knock over the tank, you can all get back into the ocean.
Okay. We're fish, aren't we?
Yeah, you're
Goddamn.
right. Yeah, and then
Ugh, that's gonna make this a lot harder. Hmm. You know what? Let's do it. Let's try to knock the bowl over.
okay, so you're gonna try with the rest of the fish in the tank. Um, I was trying not to say
Wait
this,
a minute. This
but
is this is the plot of Finding Nemo.
you got it. Yeah, you're playing Finding Nemo. Yeah,
just I just thought about it. I was like, oh, the sunfish had a scar.
yeah, the angelfish. Yeah, you might be a sunfish. You might be right. I've only seen it one time, and it was just to get laid. So, it is what it is.
What a player move.
But I mean, I guess it's a weird thing to watch a kids movie to do that, but she was of age, so. Uh,
I mean, personally, I would have chosen Shrek. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. You know the deal.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for real. But it wasn't my choice. It was definitely, she was like, "This is my favorite movie." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And it was definitely Finding Nemo. So yeah, it's you were talking a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I think that I was like 18 or 19 years old. So um, a long
oh
time
my,
ago from this moment. The
you, a young man?
Yeah, can you
What a
believe it?
preposterous idea.
At one point, it existed. Yeah, in the late 90s and early 2000s. So here we are, and then for the next couple of decades afterwards, pretty much until yesterday. Anyway, so you want to see if you can help them knock the tank over and get yourself back into the ocean.
Yes.
It is a good plan. It is difficult, but if you all work together, it can probably happen. Um, I'll give it a 9.
Oh, Brian, let's hope I don't get screwed by the dice
Do
gods. I
it.
did not. I'm
Nice. All
gonna
right. So, you guys do get thrown back in the ocean, you and Dory. the scarred fish. You all sort of celebrate. It wasn't without some calamity, but you did finally flop and flounder your way back into the ocean, which is a big relief to you because now you can get on to the business of finding your son. So what do you want to do?
Mm, okay. I can't. I'm imagining it's going to be really hard to just cause him to forget about his son, so we can do other crazy shenanigans.
It will be very
So,
difficult, um, because you know, like it is the most important thing to him. But you know, not outside the realm of possibility.
I can mislead him.
Mislead. Oh, you mean the person you're riding around in?
Yeah, I'm going to try and convince him that one specific alien named Nick Cage stole his son to eat, and we have to get him back before it happens.
Interesting. Okay. All throughout the movie, that fish was really dumb. And I think that he wouldn't even understand the concept of being overtaken or possessed by something, so he would think any thought that he had thought was his thoughts.
Okay.
So I would give you to convince him that his son has been taken by Nick Cage, and you have to go do something about that specifically. That's a big idea. I think he's very convincible, which puts it down at like 3 or 4. But the idea specifically that he has to somehow get on land and this actor exists in a specific place, you know, by the thing that they just were abducted by, you know, like along those lines. You're basically describing like, you know, men on the moon. Um, so I would say it's more that you could probably convince him. But yeah, no, 10 seems fair. Like it's definitely like whether or not he's on board. Ooh, yeah,
Oh,
no. It was
he's
just too
so
it was too
dumb.
many things to throw to a fish. You know, he's having a, yeah, existential crisis. Um, just just completely overwhelmed by the idea that a society exists where movies are and there's actors in movies and that there's a specific one who stole his son specifically. He was like shook it off. Um, he's definitely on the goal to go get caught up in a current and try to get to where his son might actually be.
Okay. Hmm. Well, I guess I could head back to the reef where everyone else is and try to figure something out there. I'm hoping my character is not too stupid to remember where the reef is, where he lives.
Um, so he's gonna try to make his way back home. Like he feels like maybe he can't find Nemo, so you're trying to like push him in that direction.
Yeah. Like we need a plan to find Nemo.
Yeah, so I think that's essentially the plot of the movie is that eventually he gives up and he's like, you know what, I don't think we're gonna be able to find him. So he is fairly discourageable. I would say that to convince him to head back home and like come up with a plan is probably like 3 or 4. Let's say 3.
Give me some good die. Yes.
There it is. Okay. So yeah, you're like, okay, cool. Very easy to convince him. And he started heading back that way. And then as he did, he started to see the trawler, like a fish boat, like just dragging the bottom, basically, scooping up all the fish. And he hears one of the voices of the ones that have been like caught is his son. It's Nemo. He found him. And he just
Mm.
as he was headed back to home, he's found him. So he has the ability to live the life of victory and save Nemo. What do you want to do?
Uh, Ride the lightning, I guess. Let's go get caught by the trawler.
Okay, so you're gonna try to get him out. I think they do make this a difficult challenge, but it's not very difficult. Um, he because I think it turns out that Nemo is small. He needs just a little like scoop or something to get him out. or whatever, like a tug. Um,
Mhm.
so let's say with the danger, with just with the current and everything, it's just not a fishy thing to do. Seven,
7.
bam.
14. Hell yeah.
Nice. So I think his name is Marlin, as if I recall now. But anyway, Nemo's dad like swims over to the net and starts pulling him out. And then all the other fish realized that all they had to do was just like squeeze their way out. The only reason that they were caught up in this net is because they had panicked. And so once they saw that, someone outside had reached in and grabbed them out, they started pulling themselves out and pulling a bunch of other ones out. And then it was that day that fish learned that it was like actually possible to like free yourselves. And that whole fishing in that area got really, really bad because they passed it on to their children and their children's children. But it was because of the action that, Nemo's dad took that day when he got him out. So,
Fishy revolution.
right? Yeah, exactly. So what I was trying to get at is basically is that they look at you as after they got out this net, is they look at you as kind of a hero to the fish, even though, you're like balding and your son's got one like fin.
How
What do you want
can
to do?
I horrifically abuse this power over people's minds?
So you want to try for the Nick Cage angle again, or
I might try to make like a little fish version of bum fights where all the deep valley fish just fight each other for food scraps.
yeah, so okay,
We could
that's
do that.
that
Yeah, let's do that.
that's an angle. Let's try it. So okay, so you want what is a bum in the ocean? So you're talking about making the bottom feeders fight each other for scraps?
Yeah,
Because they're the type
like
of
the
like
close.
yeah, like crabs or something. Um,
Yeah,
because they
and
can't
I'll do
swim
it,
like the rest of the fish.
and I'll make an angle for the people who are like not very agreeable with it. That we need to teach each other how to be stronger, and this is the only way to do it.
Okay. So okay, we know in Pixar there is like a type of society that exists there. So it wouldn't be implausible that that exists in that type of world. Um, the idea that bums, okay, but then how do fish profit? That's the part that's tripping me up. Because they could, I mean, like they don't have money. Or, so unless you want to describe to me an angle that he can profit that's not money.
Well,
Like if you just want to exploit it for power, that's definitely where you could profit.
yeah, I'd say that's a good form of profit. Power, food, resources, anything like that
There you
doesn't
go. Okay, I
necessarily have
see.
to be
Not
any of
money.
cash.
Okay, I like what you're talking about. So people are bringing him the little scraps of food because he's got okay. So
Yeah.
because he has such a successful bum fight of the bottom feeders. Okay. So okay, I like where this is going. There's a lot that has to happen to make that happen. Effort over time. So I'm thinking it's going to be like a 12 because I think you can do it, but
12,
there are going to be some setbacks. Yeah, let's say a 12.
14. Yes.
214. All right, cool. So yeah, there were some difficulties and yeah, there were some setbacks. And people, they didn't like it because fish, they first of all they don't understand the concept of entertainment. But once you started to like point out that, like the misery of others could be entertainment if you just pause to look at it for a second. And the thing about these fights is they're generally like pretty short-lived, so they keep the fish's attention span too. And so it did catch
Hmm.
on. And so the more that they wanted to see it, the more they were bringing like little treats and like food and stuff for you. And so like it did in the fish economy for what it was worth, like give you more food than you could possibly eat. And a nicer place among the coral and better education for your one-finned son. So yeah, I think that you've definitely profited from that. So you got a +2 to your original score on that one because you got the goal. So that was I was thinking it was gonna be 15. Okay, cool. So because in the Fish Society and you are already heroes, you have 17 for that too. Oh,
Hell yeah.
there you go. That's
All
it.
right.
That's a good payout. All right, so you got into society. You're basically Vince McMahon of the Finding Nemo uh, universe in Pixar. So you've got that going on for you. You've convinced people that it's better for you to get stronger this way. So congrats.
Yeah. Okay.
What would you
Now
like to
we're
do?
getting somewhere.
What would you like to do?
I need to instill a fanatic idea among the fish people
Okay.
that once we're strong enough, we can take down one of the aliens, you know?
Okay.
That we could
Okay.
go from
Yeah, because
prey
you
to
you
predator.
you convinced them that they have to train this way so they can be strong, and now you're trying to convince them that you have to train a fish that's strong enough to take up one of the ones who like abducted you, right? One of those aliens who
Yeah.
abducted you. Okay. Um. Okay. So most fish, I think, know that if you go outside the water, you're gonna die. And I've seen no level of technology in this universe that leads me to believe that they could build something like that, since they don't use tools at all. So the idea of going to fight a human or like an alien up above, the ones that abduct you, would seem like most people as madness. So I'm gonna say to convince a group of people that that's the reason that they need to get strong is gonna be like a 17. Uh-oh. You're like, forget that. I'm out.
My bad. I think the internet just crashed.
Oh no. Okay. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm back.
Okay, so 17 is the level of that challenge just because it's such it's a level of insanity. Like you're asking them to become insane. So which is a fair thing to ask a group of fish to do that.
Yes, I did it.
I, I can't
Got
see
a
your
19.
screen.
Hold on, let me screen.
I can't see your screen. Oh
Oh
no,
my bad.
you rolled a 19 though.
I did. Let me prove it. So I don't. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
let me disconnect real
Camera
quick. Let me
screen.
watch
Single app. Start. Come on, Discord. You can do it. There we go.
that. Bam. No, you didn't. That's so awesome, dude. Oh, that's so awesome.
See, I
So
always have really good rolls when I'm doing off the wall
it's
crazy
just
stuff that
insane.
should never work.
This game really does appreciate when you take huge risks. Generally, the dice roll better, and I don't know why exactly, but the game is fun when you try to go wackadoodle. Because it will respond. Anyway, there you go, convincing a group of fish that it is in fact, the reason you must get stronger is because you must become resilient enough to attack a creature from the ones who abduct you from above, so that they can be stopped. You can stop them from the abductions. And they do believe you. Now, there's some people who aren't as zealous, but for the most part, the most of society, they're ready to do it. The reason that they train is so that they could take on a human if it ever becomes necessary. Um, so over time, as your son grows up, it becomes a cultural norm that fish start jumping out of the water um, towards humans and to try to like take them down. So,
It is beginning.
yeah, so what do you want to do from that position? Your son is, he's growing up into adulthood at this point, so it's been a few seasons now.
So I think we need to convince those people who aren't as zealously like trying to get stronger. I think we should convince them to assist us by, if not going out to fight humans, then bringing humans to us to fight. So we got to get them to act interestingly enough for humans to want to come look at them.
So you want to convince them to like lure humans to their deaths in the water?
Yeah, like let's the voice should be able to convince at least one of them to write out human language since it knows human language.
Wait, how far are you going with this? I thought you just meant like being seductive, like as fish or something.
Well, no, I meant
You're
like,
trying to like make contact with the humans?
yeah, get humans to want to come in and study. Why are these fish able to write in human English? You know,
Oh man.
like we have to send a lot of people to go study this specific cultural fish. You know, or this
Okay.
fish
Wow,
culture.
you're at the Great Barrier Reef, off the coast of Australia. So how, you're gonna have to, how are you, you don't even have the anatomy for writing. Like, how are you gonna create a
No,
message?
but fish do make patterns out of rocks depending on the breed of fish. So
Hmm.
we can kind of like a person stuck in an island will write out in the sand like help out of like sticks and stones. Fish might
Okay.
be able to coincidentally write something if they're being steered enough by the voice in their head.
So, okay, you specifically want it to be the one that you're in control of to do that. Okay, so I think that would be pretty plausible that they would do that. And you have the ability to say English. And how much of a message is it? Is it like the word help? Is it humans? Is it longer?
Let's just write humans somewhere
Okay.
that's very common for humans to swim by, at least, because the Great
Well,
Barrier Reef is always being studied to some
yeah,
degree.
yeah, exactly. And there's people who are scuba diving there and snorkeling all the time. So, um, somebody would notice. I wonder if the tides would mess with that, but because it's always underwater, and then it's also the fish's attention span. Those are kind of things I'm like kind of like juggling, but I think it's possible, and I think that like if with like enough drive, and then also it's been following this successfully, saying that it can influence other people and become rich because of it, because of these bum fights. Um, so I'm gonna say six.
Six. All right, let's do it. 14.
Dang, up by eight, of
This
course.
game wants me to be on. I love it.
So it's like you write out the word humans, and almost immediately, like you get their attention. Like they're just watching this fish, like move these dark colored rocks into actual English. And then they start to, it's the age of like social media, and so they start like getting pictures underwater. They've got their goggles that are like immediately transmitting to the Instagram, they're live streaming this. So it becomes a worldwide phenomenon. As like the fish try to like reach out to the humans, and you do successfully make contact with them. They wait patiently for you to finish the word humans, and then are ready for your next word. By the time you finish the word humans, it's spread all across the globe that there's a fish. People, as you wanted
I'm
to, are on getting on planes right now to come study what's happening in the Great Barrier Reef.
I'm just gonna write Nick Cage. N-I-C Cage. I'm
I
gonna
like
get
where
it.
this is
I'm gonna
going
get it.
so much. This
I'm gonna get it
goal,
back.
yeah, this goal is, I know, right? Is so easy for you to do. I mean, it's okay, so hang on, wait, time out. You just went through with humans, which is a big word for a fish. I think that the fish is pretty tired, like right now from doing that, because it's definitely not, I mean, it's dragging stones around in the ocean floor. It's not an action that a fish would normally take. So in its state right now, it's going to become more difficult. But you also want to write the word Nick Cage. Okay, so
How about instead of overworking the fish, we let the fish rest?
okay,
You
so you want to
know?
do it tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow when more people are there to watch.
Okay, so in the meantime, the people who came to observe what's happening in the Great Barrier Reef, all the scientists, the reporters, like everyone is gathered there. Now, like they have to have underwater policemen, like keeping people away from the site where it's happening. But early in the morning, you started to write the word Nick Cage when there's people like who were there, all like ready to take pictures and stuff. Um, so it's not a hard task because yesterday you did it. Probably a little bit stiff muscles, but not a huge deal. I'm saying it's probably for you to complete that is like a 4.
4.
Yeah.
All right, big rolls, big rolls. 20
You take a bonus.
bonus. I mean,
So
excuse me.
yeah,
Oh,
just make just make sure that you have the. I'm gonna give you a bonus. Uh,
all right. Let me type that into my.
so you can use that for again. You can add to one of your powers, and you can do that at any time before you roll off for it. You can also re-roll, of course, and then use it to interrupt somebody else's actions in a multiplayer game. It also carries from game to game too, so it's going to be there until you use it. The goal was 4, and you got a 20. For those boys who are at home, take them totes. They got the, but my friend, so as you start to write out the word Nick Cage, like people begin to like just like as soon as they saw it was Nick, they're like, oh wait, hang on, and they started thinking about all the people that it possibly could be. There's phone calls going around the world trying to figure out who it was. By the time you got to C, that had it kind of narrowed down to who it might be that you'd want to see. And by the time you got finished with the word Cage, they actually had Nick Cage on a plane in scuba gear, and he was there. And so when you look up and you see that Nick Cage is like looking down at you, what do you want to do? I mean, I know you got choices, so many choices. Oh, I see you added that. That's nice. You there? No. Wave 'em. What's up, buddy? Are you are you speaking right now? There it is. Okay, cool, cool.
All right. Sorry about that. My internet's stroking out. All right. So how much of my batshit insane plan did you get?
None of it. I got none of your response to that.
Okay. So this is the difficult part.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swim to Cage and I'm gonna tap on his goggles until he follows me. Right? Like convince him to follow the fish. That
Okay.
spelled out his name and it's
Okay.
clearly somewhat sentient. I'm going to swim back towards the reef. Right?
Okay.
Like leading him somewhere important.
Okay.
But as I get closer, I'm going to start swimming faster and act really panicked. And I'm going to swim in there and say, I've just been attacked and he's after us. And I'm
Two.
going to get the entire reef to gang up on him and beat him up.
Okay, so what specifically is your goal again? You want to beat up Nick Cage because of a misunderstanding that you intentionally create. Okay, I see where the misunderstanding is. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, all right. Share your screen with the die. And okay, so you have the fish under your control. So that's an easy thing to believe. They want to do the thing that you want them to do that they're training them for, but they haven't had the possibility. But they're going so far as jumping out with the water to support you. Okay, so that
Yeah.
part initially I was like, oh, maybe they won't, but of course they will. So getting Nick Cage to follow a sentient fish, they did spell out his name, so you probably would believe it. It's a Pixar universe, so humans are more apt to like be down for that. So, and then you want to swim panicked. And then you have to, his thought of like, if you're scared, he might stop.
Well, I'm gonna get him close enough that we could he can get him close to the reef before I start swimming all panicked, right?
Right, right. But yeah,
Make
then
it where he
also
can't
like,
get away from us.
well, it's just that, like, right, he might be thinking like he doesn't want to scare you. But to pull it off, like, so that he still pursues you, it only raises the difficulty a little bit because I think all that's likely to happen given how you've set up the situation. But it's going to be a 7.
A 7. Come on, don't let me down, dice. 3.
Oh no.
Oh.
So
Oh.
you like got it. You were like ready to like pull the trigger on the plan, but Nick, you know, you think he would get cues, but he cannot read body language at all, especially not fish body language. So as you're like, come on, he just like did a couple poses with the fish, and for like publicity, of course, and like pose with the thing that you wrote in the sand, and then he like left again. So
You're so close to greatness. Okay, sorry.
I know,
So
right?
he's
Like
gone.
he just, yeah, he's gone. Uh, there's still, of
Mm.
course, the scientists who are around who are studying this anomaly of like why a clownfish is writing out the like human words first of all, and then specifically one actor that out of the billions of people that exist on the planet.
Mm. Would it be possible to enlist other fish to help me write stuff out to make it faster and easier? And we could write more complex things?
If there was some way that you could convey words to fish, it would be easy, but like the difficulty jumps up by a lot because they don't understand the single concept you're talking about. And also, there's no way for you to create something like 'cause just the fact that they don't use tools. That's the thing that's like really stopping. Like
Yeah,
it's like leaping the score so high is that they have to do something that fish aren't even built to do. Built. Is that the way you say it?
gotcha.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I want to, and I know that in a Pixar universe, some things can exist. Like cars win by extending their tongues somehow. But
Mm-hmm.
in this one, yeah, that's
Mm.
yeah. So you'd have to like create something that they could replicate somehow, or like be the one that was constantly directing them. But that becomes a difficult thing for a single fish to do. Maybe if you could get them just to pick up rocks and then follow you and lay them out in a specific way, that might work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like direct
Okay.
them on exactly where to put each rock.
So, but you could, yeah, you just have to get like, so it's like scooping up a bunch of rocks, laying down a bunch of rocks, scooping up a bunch of rocks, laying down a bunch of rocks. Yeah, it is faster than one at a time, but at the same time, there's just like, now it's just one person moving one rock at a time. I think it's going to take you about the same amount of time. You'll just be less tired.
Mm.
Just because they can't,
Okay,
there's
so
no way for them to get a game plan. You know what I mean? Like when
yeah,
contractors build a house, they have a blueprint. And so like they can work separately towards the same goal and all work on a different part. And so they divide the labor up. But because they always have to check in with you on this project, it seems like that you would be just doing the same amount of work just with like, extra fins or mouths as the case
gotcha.
may be.
All right, so if it's going to take the same amount of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a game plan about what the fish are going to do once I'm done getting the human to come back, right? So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to take a few. I'm going to tell them it's going to be a few days or whatever. I'm going to write out a message to get Cage to come back, and we all got to just go at him and just beat the crap out of him,
As
right?
soon as he enters the
Um,
water. Oh, okay, I gotcha.
yeah, and I'm gonna, it's gonna be. I'm going to convince them that he attempted to attack me the first time with his weird moves, right? That he did, and all the flashing lights. That it must have been some attempt to attack me. Thus, the miscommunication, and then as a result, Nick Cage gets attacked and beat up by fish.
Okay, so your plan is just to tell them about the plan and then convince them that they want to attack him as well as soon as he
Yeah,
enters the
whip
water.
up whip up some fanatics. Get it going.
All right, with your goal of whipping up fanatics, they are really on your side, and you want to make them like frothy, like mad about the attack that he tried to pull off on you
Yeah,
as their leader. Okay, so I
yeah.
think that they're pretty fanatic. It's like a two.
A two.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean they're very
Then
much on your
so
side to like get them up to that. Oh,
of course, the only time
fish.
I could not have failed, I did the
So
worst possible thing.
all the agitation in the water, like fish getting like themselves roiled, right, is just it started to
Yeah.
draw in the sharks because the sharks are drawn to action. And the more action there was in the water and the more agitation there was in the water, the more the sharks circled around. And then, so by the time you looked up from getting this frothy mob all nice and hot to get taken down Nicolas Cage, the sharks started to take bites out of everybody and ate the father
Can
of
I can I use my bonus to re-roll this one, or is that it?
you absolutely can. That's what those are good
All
for
right,
sure.
I got a two.
So, and the goal was two. And so they were, like you're like, let's do it. And they're like, we were already with you the whole time. So it was pretty anticlimactic, but they are ready to attack Nicolas Cage at any time that he enters the water. You also
Gotcha.
had
Okay,
your
so
life flash before your eyes when you realized you probably shouldn't work the mob up into a frothy mess because of the sharks that do, of course, live in the water.
yeah. Actually, I could get the sharks in on it.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
So I say I go out and I head towards the sharks.
Hmm. Okay. What's your end goal?
My end goal is to convince at least one of them to participate in the attack with us.
Hmm. Okay.
Because the
Sharks are
sharks like
dumb.
action, and there's going to be a lot of action and blood.
True, true. Um, but so sharks like they just okay, so they're kind of like dogs, right? Where they're just like following whatever happens next as far as their consciousness is concerned. So to try to
Hmm.
convince him, it's not so much a matter of tact, but you have to convey something that's so dense, um, to like help you and not eat you. Um, so that's kind of the balance that you're playing. You approach the nearest shark in order to get to talk to him and not get eaten by him based off their instinct is going to be a 14.
All right, so either I succeed or die. Here we go. 11. Dang.
Yeah, so you see as you draw close to him that he's not there's nothing that you can say, but you start to try anyway and he lunges for you, dodge out of the way. It dislodges, of course. You're still showing your screen in case you're that was private. I don't know if you want me, I can edit that for you for sure.
You can. It was my mother texting me that
Oh,
dinner's
okay.
done.
Okay, cool. Well, that's nice of your mom to let you know that. Oh,
She's very sweet.
so yeah, so you dodge the attack, but you've also alerted the other sharks, and of course you've been thrown off of out of Marlin's mind. Um, he is slightly shocked at what he tried to just do, despite everything else that happened recently. That was he realized a really foolish thing to mess with a shark.
But I'm not dead, am I?
No, no, you haven't died
Okay.
until and you've had thoughts of it, but it's never it
Okay.
hasn't happened yet.
Can I take him back over?
Yeah, you can try to whatever action you want to do with him would be an initiation of like trying to take control.
I would like to go back, and I guess the sharks won't be in on it until it gets nasty. But
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
would
once you
like
get the water
to,
worked up, they'll be in on the
yeah,
fighting and whatever.
yeah, I would like to go spend the rest of the day writing out the words. So Nick Cage are already there, but I'd like to write out the words "follow fish." One at a time, however many days it takes.
Okay, gotcha. Follow fish is a little bit longer. I'm sure it's probably gonna take him a day. It's good for you to point that out, and then longer probably. But you're gonna write the word follow. Um, so
Yeah.
I think you can do it. I think the task is fairly simple. I think that you could enlist the help of others to drag rocks for you too. So it is just the time-consuming task of just putting the rocks in the right place. Sometimes the tides move stuff around, but like you're in the reef, so it's a little bit quieter. Um, so yeah, I think the task overall is probably something you can do of four.
Okay.
It's
Let's
just
see.
a continual doing of it.
12.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. So it's been a really calm water, so it's been not difficult to move the stones around. You got help from other fish, so it's not tiring you out, and you can just keep working to help them lay out stones, and they just keep bringing stones over to you, and you just keep pointing out where it is. So you're saving time, and that it's just they just keep bringing you. They know the shape and color that you need, and you just like lay it out. And so you gotten a lot of attention from the humans too, the ones from above, because they're very interested in this. They had Nick Cage. They could see that you were trying to do something. Then as you write out the word that says follow fish, they get in contact with Nick Cage and are like, listen, I think we may have misunderstood what this fish really needed from us. And so they did get Nick back down to the Great Barrier Reef. Uh, and with the success you've got too, because you got a +8 on that, he's in the water. The fish, of course, have already triggered to attack as soon as he's in the water, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so as he enters the water, the fish start to wiggle and start biting at him. The fish that you had, were part of your community were all clownfish. So it's a little bit of a silly thing that did happen. But as he starts to like push back a little bit, and he's like, he can't believe he's being swarmed by clownfish, and they're getting more and more vicious at him, sort of biting at his suit. It does draw the attention of the sharks, and it draws them in and they start biting at him too. There's blood in the water. Everybody gets panicked as they get closer. Nick Cage tries to escape, but does get bitten on the leg. So yeah, you got a +8 on your victory for that one too. The misunderstanding.
Hell yeah. Yes. As a fish.
You did it as a fish too. Yeah. Oh, but you've used up your
That would
bonus, right?
be
Yeah.
that'd be 19, right? Because 11 plus 8.
Yeah, so the original one, yeah, beat up. You got beat up in a totally different way. Yeah, it's 11. 19 is what you got. That's nice. That's nice. You want to try to get this last goal?
That's gonna be the hardest because now the humans are angry.
Yeah, so I don't even know. I think they do it for a fish. Um,
Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have written out "Make a Wish"
uh,
foundation and then
uh,
write "See Nick Cage." I should have done this.
oh man, that
Would
actually
have been,
that was a plan gone awry.
that could have been
You
that could have
are
been two birds with one stone.
they don't necessarily associate you with the events that followed afterwards because it was a chain of events that didn't necessarily seem connected to you specifically. I mean, all the clownfish turned against him, but you didn't necessarily do that, and that drew the attention of sharks, which ultimately he got bitten by a shark, um, and not you, although you as a mastermind clownfish uh, could
Mm.
could make that all happen. Um, so you did get him beaten up. as everyone was trying to get out the water and there was sharks that were in the water. He was bitten. Uh, he's in good condition, like healthy, but yeah, what a misunderstanding that turned out to be. Um, what would you like to do?
Hmm. More typing is more writing in the dirt is at hand. Hmm.
All right. So you're gonna try for the make a wish?
Yeah. Shouldn't be too difficult now that I'm probably a globally recognized phenomenon.
It's not a big deal. The only thing that is that it's a weird thing for a fish to ask. People are afraid of being in the area that you're at. Um, so um, you're gonna spell out the words make a wish, which is not a difficult task, right? But for them to
Yeah.
maybe respond to that and how they would respond to that, and especially in the way that you want them to, which is to become like one of the make a wish kids.
Yeah.
So like you can get someone to visit. Okay.
I'm gonna have to spend like a week or so writing to get a single like make a wish yada yada, and then we'll just
What
have to
else
wait and
did
see if
you
they do anything.
what else would you want to do with those what else do you want to spell out in the message? Like what's the gist of it?
I could be nice or I could be chaotic. Uh,
You're not writing that in the message.
no, no, no,
You're
no, no.
oh
I'm
okay, I
thinking.
got you. Oh, I got you.
So
Okay.
there's the nice thing would be to try and make it seem like it was just a big misunderstanding and put like save Nick or help Nick or whatever from like his injury from the sharks. Or alternatively, I could use the fact that the sharks attacked him to try and convince the Make Wish Foundation to save us from the sharks by either relocating or doing something. I don't know. Uh,
Huh. Um
hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Um so okay, spelling that out. So like make a wish, save us from sharks, from the sharks is kind of like the message
I
you would
think,
want to like, or the
yeah,
alternate
yeah.
one is okay. Um,
Okay, so
so well,
I'm gonna
hang on.
roll a. I'm gonna roll a four-sided die. If it's above two, we go crazy and we genocide sharks. And if we roll under, I'm nice. I'm being nice. Damn it.
Okay, so you're trying to get to be a Make-A-Wish guest for Nick Cage.
Well, I'm gonna try and convince the Make a Wish Foundation to help Nick in some way.
What's your goal?
Well, as long as Make a Wish acknowledges my request, I've made a
Get a
wish
chance
without
to
having a disease.
use the
So,
Make-A-Wish Foundation. Okay, gotcha. I expected only as person who's receiving it, but using the foundation. We don't actually have a disease. Okay, that's an interesting take on that. That still lets that work. Um, so okay, so you want to write out something that's like, so you already have the Nick Cage, follow the fish, um, you have kind of written out, um, and so it's like make a wish.
let's say Make a Wish Found, like FOUND, like the foundation,
Mhm.
specifically addressing them, and then under that put Save Nick, give proof or something. Something that allows me to know for a fact they did. The Make a Wish Foundation in some way assisted Nicholas.
Okay, so the only thing I'm like hung up on it is I think Make a Wish is only for people who are terminally ill. And
Well, a sentient fish may not know that,
sure,
but it
but the
is
Make a
filled with
Wish
sentient
Foundation
fish.
would.
Science.
Oh, so like you're trying to convince an organization that's not going to respond to a shark bite, um, to like do a thing. But I mean, you can try. I just that's what I'm telling you. Like the odds are definitely going to be against you on
Yeah,
that one. Oh, okay.
yeah.
So, which you could roll good. Um, you would want. Okay. So the message, you can spell out. It's just going to take time. You have the fish on your side. Um, you want to spell a message that wants the Make-A-Wish Foundation to help Nick Cage, um, for the injuries he's had. All right. So I'm gonna say it's like 17.
17, 18. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So when Nicolas Cage went to, that's nice. That was a nice roll, dude. That was, yeah, that's one for the books right there. Because I was like, oh crap. When Nicolas Cage went to the hospital for the shark bite, they found out that actually there was something terminally wrong with him. Like his blood was cancer. Um, so yeah, it was mostly all through his entire body. Like they didn't understand how he had existed so long with his blood being cancer. Um, but it was. And they happened to catch it because as the shark bite was like bleeding, it was just like cancer that was like pouring out his body. And so he was like, well, I can't believe that. That's lucky. So they caught it right away. But as the next days you were writing out Make a Wish found, you know, give, Nick Cage, show proof. Um, so they were able to do it because, he was now a terminal cancer patient and they wanted, I mean, even though he had a lot of money and they just wanted to, help the fish know that it was okay. And so they ended up taking photos of the event of him in the hospital. He's looking like sicker and sicker all the time because the cancer is just like leaving his body. And it turns out that it was the only thing that was running him was the cancer. And so they brought the photos underwater so that you could see the proof as well. So you got your final goal, and you got a 10 point bonus for getting all of them without dying, or dying only one time, but with the ability to come back.
So that would be
So the Nick Cage was 19 because I was definitely, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's not the one. 12, and then you got an additional one, it's 13, and then 10 bonus altogether for that. So wow, 23, 43, 50, 69 is your score actually, cool guy.
10 points. Plus 10. So 36, you said?
Um, no, I got something higher than that. So you just got 13, and then you had 17 in addition to that, so that's 30. Um, and then you got another 19, so that's 49. No, not 69. 49 would be closer. This is the part of the podcast where we struggle to do math because we're dumb. Um, right. So 13 and 17 is 30. Yeah, 19 on top of that is 49. You got 49 points altogether. Um,
Damn, that's a new record.
Yeah, I think you just took the record. Um, so that's awesome. I mean, you have to understand too, like we're getting additional points on top of it. So the old record for the old league or like the old scoring still stands, but obviously that's what I tried to call out at the beginning is obviously we're gonna be getting higher points. But you did get
Gotcha.
a difficult one. You got 19, 17, and 13. So that's not to say anything is a miss. That those are high rolling, high scoring plays. You took on a big challenge, and then you were able to get additional points on top of them. So
Awesome.
yeah, that's awesome. So you got a fish from the sea to beat up Nick Cage. You got Nick Cage make a wish as survivor, and they showed proof to you. So this happened, and you built that all on an empire of a bottom feeder bum fight organization. Um, so, congratulations to you, Raven, the misspelled, for your fantastic adventure, and they die at the end. It's really fun to see a solo campaign, because we didn't get to do one last time. So that is fun. But also, guys, we have about 15 minutes. Let me just wrap up real quick. This is a Cox and Space podcast. It's a behind the scenes. Not so much actually. It's just us kind of chilling and hanging out. But if you want to check
Yeah.
us out, you can at coxinspace.com, and that will get you connected to our Facebook and our Discord where we do this on Sunday nights, and then all the other shows that we do throughout the week. You can also get connected to our Facebook and get talk on one of our shows as a person who has interest in interesting things, and we would love to connect with you that way. You can also connect with our Patreon and help keep the show funded. Become a co-producer of the show, which means you get paid out as a producer of the show when we get paid out, which is a good time. And then you can also come on and play games like this. So if you want to do that, reach out. We're happy to have you. Um, Raven, do you have any final thoughts about this game tonight?
Well, for the first time ever, I successfully devised what the base of the story was.
That's nice. They figured out better than
Definitely
me.
took advantage of Pixar magic.
That's
Uh,
yeah, it seemed to be working on your side. Nick Cage as a Pixar character is a fun idea.
and now we know that his blood was like 90% cancer or something. And,
Basically, it was
I
all
got my
cancer.
goal. So
Yep.
if he lives or dies, it is what it is. All I've got to say is I can't wait to see what kind of absolutely insane stuff we come up with in the future.
Right? It's like this game just lets you do that sort of things. And maybe it's because I'm the GM, like kind of the places you can go. But I would like to have some guest GMs come in too, because it's whatever they think. The way that a game is judged is what the challenge is and the difference between the challenge and the victory. And I always think about it in terms of levels. Like when you just barely get it, that's a one. But within, if you get a two, it's on the power of two. So it's one times one that still
Yeah.
equals one, but it's like another magnitude. And then the further you get out, like eight magnitudes of awesome is like high victory. Um, and then
And that's
obviously
why I
when you get
always like
12 and
doing really
15,
yeah, and that's why I like doing really specific things. Like I don't do generic like, oh, I clean this or I do this or I get this. I'm like, I'm gonna target this one specific person. We're gonna do this one specific thing and we're gonna do it in a very specific way. Because the harder it is, the funner it is to try and get there. Or the more fun it is.
yeah, and that's the facts. Like I really think that it's the most enjoyable. This game is the most enjoyable when you like try to see what you can get away with. Because then you like I didn't think you were going to be able to get out of the Finding Nemo situation. I was like, oh crap, there's no way he can do these very human goals from Finding Nemo. But it's all based off the rules. Like, I mean, I try to base that fairly. Like, it would be really difficult for the ways that you're approaching things, to get that done. But, you're able to do it. And I think those victories are much more fun, in my opinion. The story of how you got Nick Cage attacked by sharks and Finding Nemo is like fun storytelling, fun memories, right?
You gotta when this YouTube video comes out, you gotta put the description as Marlin from Finding Nemo becomes bum lord like ringleader funds expedition to get Nick Cage both attacked and helped by Make a Wish Foundation.
They're
And you got to put it
definitely.
as little context as possible into the statement, so it's confusing.
I'm definitely thinking about the thumbnail and how it looks with sharks coming in to attack Nicolas Cage specifically on a Finding Nemo like set. So people are like, "What? What is this game?" And of course, it says they die at the end. But Marlon in this case did not die, but Nick Cage almost. He almost died. It's actually a
We
good
don't know.
thing.
We'll leave that ambiguous for follow up stories.
Well, it's possible that the cancer didn't get cured because he's terminal. But also, it's very possible that, because of that shark bite, you saved his life. So, I personally think of Marlin as the bum lord, as a hero.
You know what? I do too. I think I'll consider him a crazy hero. We'll call it that.
Yeah, he might be.
Mentally
Yeah,
insane
he
hero.
might be mad. Yeah, he might be slightly unethical. But at the end of the day, his mad schemes did lead to good things. And as far as from a PR perspective, they were definitely like, it looks like he really did care about Nick Cage. That must have been just a mad accident that those sharks would have just done that. So. I think in the history books of that world and that universe, um, he would be celebrated.
Well, I have to head off, but it was an absolute pleasure hanging out with you,
Same.
man.
Yeah, go get dinner, enjoy that with your parents, and we'll catch up again next week.
Yes, sir. Have a
Yeah,
wonderful night.
you too, buddy. Guys, that was They Die at the End. You are welcome to come play with us. We meet Sundays, 6 p.m. Central on the Discord. So come check it out. It's definitely more fun with more people, and it's fun with solo people. So if you show up and there's no one else, we can play. If there's, a bunch of other people, we can play. Specifically, you can come on anytime that you would like to. You can reach out to me, wigwags.us or skipmarazi@gmail.com. Send me an email and we can talk about what time you and your friends would like to get together. I have a Shopify setup, so you can just select the many hours that you would like to buy, and we'll play that way. So. Reach out, let me know. If you got this far, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming out and checking out these games. Just, silly fun times where we get to hang out. So, we hope you enjoyed it and we'll see you soon. Bye.